Yeah, buddy, you better sell them houses, lady. What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Sun Life.
And Katie.
On today's video, we're going to be going to the heartland of Florida. Right now, we're in Lakewood Ranch, and a lot of people are moving out, and it's probably because they're jacking up the rents here, and people are having to move somewhere more affordable. We're going to head to what's known as the Heartland of Florida. These are the inland counties in South Florida. Here along the coast, there's a lot of wealth, gated communities, lakes, brand new sidewalks, and lots of new home construction. But the part of Florida we're going to go into right now is a little bit more poor, the inland rural counties. So they're building new apartments like crazy here on the outskirts of Lakewood Ranch. We're driving away from Bradenton and Sarasota, so all through here, it's a lot of new home construction and a lot of industry as well. Let's just open up a Kubota dealership over here. Alright guys, so we just entered Hardee County, Florida, and we are now officially in the Heartland. Welcome to the rural community of Ona. This is just a dot on the map. So they're advertising 309, right? But that's if you pay cash. It's actually 319. I hate when gas stations do that. It's so scummy. Small towns, but they gotta have metal bars on the windows. So along these little country roads right outside of Wauchula, Florida, there's a little bar over here. It's called Charlotte's Web. It's kind of like a biker bar. One of many little interesting roadside attractions here. Pretty soon we'll be in Zolfo Springs. Now Zolfo Springs is something like 45% Hispanic, if not more. And communities like Zolfo Springs are probably going to have a very difficult economic time because what little economy they had was based off of agriculture and undocumented workers. But as you drive into town, the most obvious thing is the amount of abandoned farms and how overgrown some of these fields are. Definitely has to be difficult for these farmers to see their land in this condition. As we cross the beautiful Peace River, we enter the town of Zolfo Springs. This town right here has a large and significant Hispanic community. Many years ago, it used to be mostly Mexican. I think recently it's been a lot of Guatemalans. People here keep pretty tropical yards, of course. They're trying to grow coconuts and pitayas and all types of tropical stuff. And guys, this is sadly the new face of inland South Florida. You do have abandoned properties here. This one's really creepy because it's got like notes on the windows. Sadly, you're starting to see a lot of abandoned properties out here like that one. There's also some pretty nice neighborhoods here in Zolfo Springs with beautiful houses. This region of Florida has some of the worst analytics for incomes. When you talk about poor and uneducated people, you're talking about this region of Florida. Desoto, Hardee, Henry, these counties are analytically the worst counties in Florida in just about every category, from incomes to education. It seems like almost everything's abandoned out here. From this, right across the street, you got this. Check out this little town, guys. I mean, it really feels like we're in Texas somewhere. there's just nothing out here. I mean, it's just complete desolation. Everything's kind of run down and abandoned. Definitely a weird part of Florida. If I remember right, this used to be a little Mexican store here. It looks like it's gone. Can't remember what it was. I think it was a restaurant or a gas station. Either way, it's gone. I got gas here, save 40 cents. Alright guys, and now we're driving clear out of Zolfo Springs. I think what's the next big town heading this way? I think Avon Park, we'll find out. Beautiful countryside out here. This is one of my favorite parts of rural Florida. It's just beautiful. Kind of rolling hills and old little farmhouses. It kind of reminds me of like Michigan or like, I don't know, just other parts of the country that are rural. Just a beautiful rural area out here. Temperature today's been peaking 100 degrees, so it's a hot day. But this is like a really beautiful rural part of Florida. It almost feels like you're in other parts of Florida. These are probably going to be the trucks they use for oranges here. That you can see they're all just sitting there. Now, if you don't have orange production, you're not going to have truck drivers to drive the oranges. So it's not just the people that work in these fields, it's also the truckers that transport this stuff. We're kind of on the outskirts of Wauchula now, but it's the truckers that transport this stuff. It's the people in Bradenton that wash the oranges. It's kind of like an entire economy based off of where these oranges go. I guess we're just out to get our oranges from California now. This is kind of what most of this region of the state looks like. It's just roadkill here or there. That looks like a hog. Just kind of a wide open land out here. Mosaic Mining is also out here. Their business model is put a freaking hole in the ground, and that's what they've been doing all across Florida. Personally, mining is very destructive. You've seen the stacks over there by Piney Point and the problems that they've had with the contamination from all that stuff. The mining companies own a lot of land out here. So there is interest for this land. I mean, the mining companies want it and the developers want it. But that's probably not where you'd want the future of Florida to go. I mean, mining and development are probably the last things people from Florida want to see happen to our state. But, you know, that's probably where it's heading. I mean, a lot of the agricultural applications out here aren't going to last too long. These rural counties here in Florida have really failed to provide adequate income, security, law enforcement, education. I mean, these rural communities are definitely not where you want to end up in Florida. They're kind of left to their own devices, and they don't do really well. You can see on the left, these oranges here are overgrown, and here's some more on the left, overgrown orange fields. So, you know, there have been some plagues that have hit the area, but a lot of people were planning on recovering and continuing orange production. Orange production has been down in Florida. There's been a lot of problems with the orange industry, but it still survived under tougher circumstances. But I think at this point, it's not just gonna die. I think it's pretty much over with at this point. But, you know, land use. Who's gonna snatch up all these dead orange fields now? Probably developers, probably mining companies. I mean, nobody else is really interested in this area. There's a car for sale. I've probably seen 50 cars for sale driving through these little country roads. People are really hurting for money right now. I mean, with oranges here on the left, they're just tearing the orange trees out here. They're just tearing them out right here. So, yeah, there's definitely been a lot of bad things happening out here. All Alright guys, welcome to Highlands County, Florida. Just like with Beavis and Butthead, but in Florida. Highlands County, notice how quickly the landscape changed? Welcome to Avon Park Lakes. You can tell there's a lot of Hispanic people here by the bright colored houses and of course lots of new home construction. Affordability of land parcels here probably made new home construction out here, well, a boom. Take a look at all the dead oranges, guys. How sad. Over here you can see a newer home. I wouldn't doubt there's somebody living in that camper. You got some dirt roads as well, country, rural areas. And of course somebody littering, dumping tires. Typical Florida.
You take the fun out of everything, Jose.
Okay, well, just don't crash into a pile of sand and we have to tow it away. You can off-road, but just remember you don't want to crash, okay? Or scratch the truck. Or scratch the truck. You can go straight. You wanted to off-road, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Just don't crash the truck. Slow down.
Let me drive.
You're gonna scratch the truck. Those are oak trees. Dude, slow down. You're gonna destroy the truck. You can't do that. You can off-road, but you can't destroy the truck. Okay. This is black bear territory out here. We can see some black bears.
Yeah, that's cool.
Lots of black bears out here. Guys, this out here is Avon Park Lakes. Looks like an almost new house right there. Kind of reminds me of what Lehigh Acres was before they built it up. This cute little house right here is overlooking the lake. This is kind of crazy right here. This is an abandoned house overlooking the lake. How sad. How sad. It's got a few notices on the door, probably from the county telling them they need to mow their lawn. There's a for rent sign right here, guys. Big, beautiful house. Big, beautiful house. Garage and everything for rent. House right here can see the lake from the front yard. Recently getting built. Looks like they're working on it. Not a bad view from the front lawn here. Well, it's understandable. There's a house in Avon Park for sale where the fires burn on the front lawn in a 100-degree day. Here's a good old town of Avon Park, Florida. Great place to stab somebody or to be stabbed by somebody. If stabbing is your thing, Avon Park will not disappoint you. This town is usually 120 degrees in the summer. And, well...
That explains a lot.
Yeah, I don't really know why people in this town are so,
Bitter?
there's something wrong with them. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong with these folks out here.
Well, he makes
Dang,
anybody go
their
crazy.
Walgreens closed down. That sucks when one of your favorite little pharmacies closes.
That's CVS.
Oh,
Walgreens
CVS.
is open.
Walgreens is open. Okay, so the CVS went out of business.
Yeah.
At least the Walgreens. Now, one thing that bitterly sucks about Avon Park is that if it's like 90 degrees on the coast, it'll be like 97 here. It's inland, no coastal breeze. It gets colder in the winter and it gets hotter in the summer. So this area always reminds me of like Texas almost, where it's just a barren, hot wasteland. If your liquor's too red, it'll swell up your head. And if it's in Avon Park, it'll swell up somebody's head after they get knocked upside the head with it. The plaza here is called El Zocalo, which would suggest, well, El, you know?
Continue on West Main Street for 1 mile.
Taqueria Merlo is on the left, and are they closed today? There's nobody there.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen that place empty. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's usually like 100 people there. I hope they're not going out of business.
Oh my gosh.
That would suck. That's like the
Yeah.
best taco place in
It
Florida.
is. It literally is.
Now you would think that Avon Park being a small town wouldn't have a massive homeless population. Bless your heart for even thinking that. This town, despite being small, has a horrifically large homeless population. Not sure why or how, but it does. Es la familia. Es la familia. Es la clan over there. Well, here we are, Avon Park on a bitterly hot day. I guess you don't even need liquor to make your head swell today. You can just walk outside and feel like your head's gonna explode. Temperature is well over 100 degrees. Heat index pushing over 110. Who the crap would want to be outside in this heat? Yet the homies are out there mowing grass. Es la familia. This is their cute downtown. Now, what's crazy about Avon Park is that their downtown actually far exceeds the town itself. It's like they got a great downtown, but that's it. Great downtown, great Mexican food. That's all they got. It's like we're gonna get good food, we're gonna get good downtown, and that's it. Nothing else will be good here. It's like we got two great things going for us here in Avon Park. The best Mexican food you ever had, and the best downtown of any small town in this region of the state. But that's all we can offer you. Beyond that, we're done. Oh, and they have some of the best public housing as well. There are some good things about Avon Park if you think about it.
It's always awesome to have a beach in the housing projects.
Yeah, they have the best public housing in Florida. They have their own lake beach for the public
turn
housing
right onto
projects.
Memorial Drive.
So there are some great things to be said about Avon Park. Now that I
So
think
if you're
about
going to
it.
be in public housing, do it in Avon Park.
It's like if you want to live off the government while eating good Mexican food and having a nice downtown, it's hard to beat this.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have some
At the light,
peculiar
turn right onto Memorial
advantages
Drive.
that don't amount to much after you include all their negatives.
Yeah.
It's like we got some great things going for us, but well, the problem is we got too many bad things going. You know you're broke when you're having a garage sale in 110 degree weather. Like this is not garage sale weather. Here's their corner store.
East Citico Street, then
There's a
slide
homeless
right.
dude right there. Check out their corner store here.
And they're selling plants over there.
Yeah. I love they have a homeless guy in front of their corner store.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's weird that it's a small town, yet they have like this
Yeah.
massive homeless population. It's weird. Yeah, that's the other little hood spot here.
And they specialize in hot wings.
Wow, that doesn't say. I mean, how's your weekend? I'm standing outside an abandoned corner store selling fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables and plants. That's like,
Well, you gotta have the hustle.
you gotta have the hustle. I mean, you're gonna hang out by that corner store either way, so you might as well make something out of it. And that's what I don't get about people in the United States. Like, okay, if you're gonna hang outside of a corner store all day, at least sell something. That's legal. Well, I mean, there are people selling stuff outside the corner store, but not legal stuff. You know what I meant. So somewhere halfway between Avon Park and Sebring is this park for kids. I don't know whose idea it was to put a park here, but it was a bad idea. I mean, why not in a residential? Why out here?
It's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and first of all, it's Is it next to a roundabout?
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
next
a- it's
to a
not
roundabout.
ideal.
It's
ideal.
the first thing you see off the roundabout.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like I could just see a car flying over here. And it's overlooking an abandoned orange field. I feel like this is their version of Lakewood Ranch. Like this is like this is our version of Lakewood Ranch. We have a kids field. Like bless their heart for doing that. I mean, they tried, right? That's all that matters. I can imagine driving your kid out here in this field in a 110-degree weather day to play in the playground in the middle of abandoned orange fields. It's their version of Lakewood Ranch. Like this is all they could afford. Like we took our kid to the park. Which one? The one by the abandoned playground or the one by the abandoned orange field down there? Oh, you mean the one by the roundabout? Yeah, that one. We almost ran off that thing the other day. Billy and I were drinking, and we saw this purple thing on the side of the road, and I was like, Billy, don't hit that. That's a pretty sad park right there. This is the saddest park I've seen since the last time I went to Cuba. Parks in Cuba were pretty sad.
Yeah, I remember the zoo. I mean, it was
the zoo.
sad.
This is almost as sad as the zoo in Cuba.
The zoo in Cuba is like the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Right, it is, because they get like animals that like have amputations and stuff. It's not.
No, I'm talking about what they feed the lions instead.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they can't find meat, so they. We're not going to get into this. It's a sad zoo. Let's just put it that way.
Basically, better hope the lions don't get out.
Better hope Grandma lives a little bit longer down there. No, the zoos in Cuba are definitely
Oh my god,
sad.
it is so bad.
You better
It's so
hope
sad.
your grandma lives just a little bit longer, because that lion down there looking real skinny. All right, everybody, welcome to Sebring, Florida. Sebring, Florida has had some significant improvements over the last few years. So welcome to Sebring. Sebring with the E. They're building new houses here in the outskirts. That Hometown Takeover TV show is doing some stuff around downtown. There's a lot going in, a lot of changes. It's nothing like Lakewood Ranch or Lehigh Acres or Fort Myers, but it's, you know, for what it is, you know, it's grown some.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto North
I
Ridgewood
think
Drive.
as the old people died off, the only buyers were people from Miami relocating here for affordability. So it's people that want to be close to Miami, but they can't afford Miami. So this is kind of a good middle ground for them. And it's probably helped the town tremendously that this influx of people from Miami's
At the
landed
light,
here.
turn.
So Sebring had a very aging population, we could call it. And as that population aged, nobody else was aging. So as they passed away, vacancies became the norm, keeping rent prices here ridiculously low. You could find rents here for as little as $800 a month. Of course, today, that's changed a little bit because now people from Miami have been moving up here. Today we're going to have an early dinner or lunch, you could say, here in Sebring at a Cuban restaurant called Sophie's at downtown. It used to be the old Salvation Army building, but now it's a Cuban restaurant. And that's where we're going to be eating. It's been a very popular spot in the city. It's actually been what everybody in town's been talking about for like the last year, is how good this Cuban restaurant is. So we're going to go try it out. They're open until 8
Turn
today,
left
so we
onto
got
North
plenty
Wall
of
Street.
time.
Then your destination will
Just
be on
got to
the
find
left.
a parking spot. That's going to be the toughest part. You can see they're busy. There's people here. And Sebring was kind of known for an aging population, but honestly, you see less and less of it every day. I heard, I'm not sure. Is that called the 301? There we go. Now we just got to find a parking spot and get some Cuban food. I'm glad they haven't started charging for parking yet, little small town. Maybe you can learn from the big cities and learn that as
Exit the
well.
traffic circle onto North Ridgewood Drive.
We'll find a
Then turn
parking
right
spot
onto
here.
North Wall Street.
Good vibe.
Then your destination will be on the left.
Good vibe out here.
There's a parking spot right there.
Cool, I might not be able to fit in it.
Your
Oh, you
destination
should.
is on the left.
Oh, that's tight. There's no way we'll fit in there.
Yeah, you will.
No, there's no way. Crime and violence everywhere. Police sirens everywhere you go in a big city. Small town. I will have to say that it was hard to find parking here, and wow, that's crazy for a small town. It feels nice here though, the potential of a breeze. Somewhat of a breeze here. And the shade ain't too bad. The local mercantile. And this used to be the old Salvation Army building, and now it's a Cuban restaurant everybody's been talking about. So let's get in there and try some Cuban food. Let's go. Hello. Look at all this Cuban food. We're in here, Cuban restaurant. Cool. Mame smoothie, always try that. So this is a café con leche, Cuban coffee with milk, a lot of sugar, traditional Cuban thing. Will definitely wake you up.
Ranch.
And you can smell it's the real Cuban Miami bread, not that Segunda Bakery crap they use in Tampa. Okay, the first thing I gotta say that was a lot of food for $65 with our tip, and we got stuff to go. So I think the price was exceptional. In a larger city, this would have easily been $80 to $90. Did you know it's impossible to wear a cowboy hat while driving a motorcycle? What a sad realization. Of course, what would our videos be without beautiful Katie by my side, the star of the show? This town turned their homeless shelter into a Cuban restaurant. If every town in America did that, it'd be a better place. I mean, what would be the slogan for Sebring? We turned our homeless shelter into a Cuban restaurant. What an incredible thing to do. Okay, blasting opera music in their town square is ridiculous and just kind of odd. They have this XM radio station for like opera music or 40s or 50s music, and you can hear it resonate through the whole town. I think that's a little bit trashy. It kind of like denotes that they're trying to set a mood, but it's not really happening. I'm not sure. Also, if you're a YouTuber, you won't be able to make videos there because that's blasting in the background, so pretty crappy. But overall, can't beat this town's vibe. All right, guys, but it is time for us to start heading up out of Sebring. We had a great time here today, but there is so much more for us to explore. The Children's Museum is here. Whoa, slow down with the door down, buddy. Man. So the Children's Museum's here in Sebring. Hello. She's saying hi to us over there. How you doing? Hold on. So you got the Children's Museum over here. I guess one disappointing thing is that in the time that we were here, both Katie and me ended up dealing with panhandlers. It's a little disappointing, Sebring, that in just the little time we were here, we ended up dealing with two different panhandlers.
Faded restaurant.
All right, Katie, so go ahead and tell them about your panhandling experience.
Yeah, there was a guy, he kept asking for food, and I saw several homeless people here. And it was supposed to be a cute little downtown. So
yeah, and he was smoking a Black and Mild. And those things are like $2 a piece. So, because let's be real, what's a Black and Mild worth? $2 a piece?
I have no idea. They turned me off. They smell horrible.
Then I also had a woman who panhandled to me as well. She told me she needed a ride to the gas station, acting like she couldn't walk. Later on, I saw her walk away, so I guess her feet were functional. And then she went on to ask me for money. And I said, look, lady, me and my wife had to Uber drive all week to have money for the weekend to go on this little road trip. So, you know, if you want something, get a job. Not that there's jobs here, but that's the best I've come up with. Now, I'm pretty nice and friendly to panhandlers, and I give people food and water whenever I can. But it just seems kind of predatory to sit around waiting for people to leave restaurants. I don't think those were like homeless people. I think they were just bumming. Yeah, they're not homeless. Professional bums, not homeless.
Yeah.
Like they're not homeless. Neither one of them. They're definitely not homeless. They're just bums. All right, guys, they're getting a giant new racetrack here in Sebring on the south side of the city. Check this out. love these afternoon thunderstorms here in Florida. All right, guys, welcome to the small community of Lake Placid. We're in the middle of an afternoon Florida thunderstorm. It'll pass eventually. Lake Placid, it has a pretty good sized Hispanic community. You can see this old gas station turned into a La Michoacana Paleteria.
Over there.
Yeah. Lake Placid's the type of place you need metal bars on your doors. This is like the epitome of like ghetto South Florida. That's pretty cool. If you like looking at old abandoned crap, then this town's right up your alley.
There's a lot of things that are abandoned here.
If staring at abandoned buildings is your pastime, you'll love this place. Did you catch how many like stray dogs are up on the road? Up
Yeah.
ahead? This is like a little Alabama town. There's like 800 stray animals on the road.
Oh boy.
Did you catch the paint job on that Dodge truck earlier? Coconut tree got hit by lightning. Okay, there's 2 palm trees in this neighborhood that have been hit by lightning. Mi gente, ¿se acuerdan de estos tiempos? Ahora que no se acuerdan. Esto. No, recuerdos, puros recuerdos. So I asked the guy if I could stop by and take a picture of the truck, and he told me the whole truck's history and how it's like a sentimental thing. So really cool. Lake Placid's known as the city of murals, and well, that's kind of what they're known for here: clowns, murals, artwork. Somewhat of a ghost town out here today. It was hot earlier, and now it cooled down with the rains. If I come on a weekday, people say, well, you know, it's a weekday and people are working. If I come on a weekend, well, it's a weekend. Come on a weekdays where people are out and about. There's always a different story from people on why their towns are empty. But the truth is, and these towns are not seasonal out here. These places are always kind of sleepy. That's the way these towns are. It's a sleepy area. But nonetheless,
they're gonna complain we came here when it was raining.
yeah, they're gonna say, oh, you came when it was raining. If it comes when it's hot, well, you came when it was hot. You came in the winter, well, you gotta come in the summer. People always complain about when I come to their town and why I came to their town. Just get the crap out of here.
Just be happy I came here.
Yeah, that was cool. The guy told me like the whole car's history, how they got it, and why it's sitting, and how they're not getting rid of it for any amount of money. I'm like, talk
Good
about
for you.
Awesome. Like, even the Walgreens has murals here. That's just the theme of the town, really. But without a doubt, the most iconic place in the city is the tower, overlooking the orange groves of Central Florida that no longer exist.
Video.
Alright guys, so this place here is called Highway Park. And it's kind of like one of those little hoods in Florida that are just kind of like hidden and like nobody knows about. It's one of those like off the beaten path little hoods in Florida. Type of place where like all the locals know type stuff.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Anderson.
I love how they had to put up a camera there for the whole neighborhood. This is kind of like one of those like just off the beaten path type of hoods, like type of hoods where like only the locals know about. But this back here, look at all the chickens on the road. Oh no, man. This is definitely like one of those places in Florida that are like super hood, but it's like a little town you never heard of. It's basically outside of Lake Placid, just south of Sebring. And I mean, the hood odometer here is really high. This place is hood spectacular, especially on a Saturday. Like, these are the type of places that only Southern Life knows about. All these other YouTubers don't know about these type of spots. You know, but most of these YouTubers don't know about these type of places.
I've got one on my mind that I'll be bringing to you as soon as I can.
Long live the realist. Long live the realist. The racist? I'm not sure what wants to long live there. This is the type of like hood spot that only Southern Life knows exists. All the other YouTubers, they don't know about these type of places. Yeah. And places where if you know, you know, but most people don't know. Yeah. This is the type of neighborhood where I gotta check back in with y'all and like do like a whole weekend hood blog out of this. Just out of this one neighborhood, like a whole entire weekend hood blog. I mean, there's hoods and then there's this. this really is like the parts of Florida that like most people. How would you end up here? Like, unless you're me and Katie, nobody would discover spots like this. It's just like type of place where only me and Katie would even know exists. Who else would like even realize that these places are places? Nobody else. But as the graffiti said, long live the realist. And it's only a few. Oh, there's more graffiti here. Okay, it's just like Fatty's World. Okay, so it's like a gang. Okay, so there's some gang activity. Nowhere's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what neighborhood doesn't have gang activity, you know? Yeah. Like some people just say, oh, it's got gang everywhere. What neighborhood doesn't have? What neighborhood doesn't have gang activity, you know? Food truck back here. I think next time we out here, we'll check it out. But definitely, this is the type of place where only Jose and Katie will discover.
Yeah.
Let's get going. A real hood spot out here. Check out the trucks. The people are real friendly out here. It's like South Florida people ain't, you know. Yeah. South Florida people, this ain't like Louisiana. No. Where people all trying to pull guns on you and stuff. This is South Florida. No. Like, people out here like vibing for real. Chill. What I love about these little Florida hood spots is like, you know, like if you were like in Louisiana or Alabama and you pull into a little hood spot like that, like they're not going to be happy about you showing up. Like you pull up to a little spot like that in some other town and they're not going to be happy about it. But, you know, leave it to South Florida for you to pull into a little town like that and everybody want to hang out, vibe, meet you, whatever. You got to love South Florida. South Florida is like nowhere else. Someone has to get on this detour here.
You just pulled in somewhere random.
Somewhere random. All right, that's how you discover new places. Is that a lake? Dude, that's a lake. Look at that. Yeah. See, that's how you discover new places, though. Check it out.
It looks like you can drive directly into a lake.
Drive right into a lake, dude. That's cool. Well, that's how you discover cool places. Like 90%. Like, you don't discover cool new places unless you take a wrong turn somewhere. Wasn't this like the best wrong turn you ever took? Look at this.
That's cool.
Wow. So cool. Tell me this wasn't the best wrong turn I've ever made.
That's pretty cool.
Drive straight into the lake?
No, do not drive into the lake, Jose.
I'm driving straight into the lake.
No, please stop.
It looks like an ocean. Wow.
I know, right? That is Lake Placid.
Oh, that's the actual Lake Placid?
Yeah.
Wow. It doesn't look very placid at all.
No.
It looks
very
completely the opposite of placid. It looks the complete opposite of placid. Mm-hmm. It looks angry.
Yeah. It looks very angry.
See, sometimes making a wrong turn is the best thing you could do. Well, I could sit here all day on these people's front yard.
Yeah, get out of here, Jose.
I got this car behind me and he's literally right on my tail, probably less than 10 feet from my car, even though we're driving in the rain. Now there's a passing lane. Let's see what he does. Does he go for it? Sure he does. There he goes. Like, dude, come on. Like, you're driving in the freaking rain. Why would you tailgate somebody in the rain? Like, what type of idiot would do something like that? Like, obviously, if you're tailgating me for over a mile and I'm not moving, it means I'm not going to go any faster. But that's one thing that I hate about driving up here near Arcadia. It's like every time you come out here, if you've watched my videos, that's just the way these people drive out here. So we're just in the outskirts of Arcadia, Florida. And it hasn't been 3 minutes, and here's the next one. There he is trying to, I wish you guys could see this guy. He's going to go on a double line, which he's not supposed to. But he's right behind my head, so you can't see him. But he's acting like he's going to pass me on a double line, so... It wasn't 3 minutes, and here's the next one. I mean, now he can pass, so he's going to go here now. Watch him right there. I'm going the speed limit. There he goes, watch. And he can go right now, but I guess his car's not powerful enough. There he goes, in a Kia. You think that Kia's got enough? Look at that. He can barely fly. Come on. What I don't get is why tailgate to do it. Like this guy in the truck, he's got a little bit more horsepower. He was able to pass me without tailgating me. All right, everybody. Welcome to Arcadia, Florida. I know the locals say Arcadia, but that's not the way that the people who founded this town wanted it to be pronounced Arcadia, but these people here, they don't know any better. The only thing to do in this town is go to Walmart behind the Popeye, so that's where we're going. Now La Belle, that's a real cowboy town. Unfortunately, the Cubans were actually giving them bars of brass and... All right, cool. We just got recognized. All right, guys, welcome to the Walmart in Arcadia. All right, guys, so welcome to the Walmart in Arcadia. As soon as I got out, we got recognized. So we're weird. Just get out into a town, and as soon as you get out, you get recognized. But that's what YouTube does. It's a little overwhelming at times. All right, guys, so this is the Walmart in Arcadia, Florida. Just got recognized outside. You know, I was going to say a bunch of mean things about Arcadia during the video, just to troll some comments, but then I get out here and somebody recognizes me. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't act a fool. But it's like, the thing about YouTube is you have to kind of like, every once in a while, get some attention. Sometimes it's easier to get the haters to comment than it is to get the people that love your channel to comment. And by the way, today's video is courtesy of Katie. It was her idea to go on this road trip today. So make sure in the comment section, you guys give Katie a thank you if you enjoyed today's video, because I wanted to go to the beach. It was her idea to go inland. All right, guys, so I think I've been recognized about 3 times today. I gotta say, people in Arcadia are having a lot of babies. The same thing can be said for Sebring. Like in Lakewood Ranch where I live, you just don't see that many families with kids. But both here in Arcadia and in Sebring, on both trips, I've noticed a lot more families with kids. You leave that bicycle without a lock anywhere else and it's gone. There she is. You leave the Walmart. Yeah, can you imagine putting your kids through the school systems here in Desoto County?
Oh boy.
But what's the logic behind that? Because like if you go to our Walmart, like in Bradenton, you don't see that many people with kids, do you? Arcadia. It's just a sleepy afternoon here in Arcadia. Not much of anything going on. You know what the word Arcadia sounds like? It sounds like the Spanish word Alcaldía, which means where the mayor lives. Maybe the mayor of Arcadia lived in Arcadia.
Well, I wouldn't imagine he'd live anywhere else than Arcadia.
I can't believe we get recognized. Like every time we come to this part of Florida, it's like everywhere we go, people recognize us. Hey, look, they got a Wawa here.
Yeah.
They got a Wawa. I wonder if they have homeless people out there Wawa like they're doing ours. Why don't you just keep driving that Maserati down there? You just keep driving that Maserati down there right down to Lakewood Ranch. We don't drive stuff like that here. You can understand why you drive something so fancy like that. It's just wrong to do something like that. So as usual, ending this construction site is probably a 80-year project for the city. There's just no plans to ever end this freaking nightmare.
It's like 41 in Fort Myers. It's been under construction since I was in high school.
Bro, they have no plans of closing this place.
I know.
Like, this is just going to be an never-ending construction site. Like, it's not in their plans at all.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, so being bilingual has its benefits. I was able to translate a little situation there. Yo, I gotta publish this, and they begged me not to. They're like, you know, small town, people here gossip too much, and it'll get around very quickly. But I did agree to blur out the images of the accident because, you know, the people involved really asked me, you know, please don't publish this. You know, the undocumented person made a very quick maneuver to avoid the accident or to lessen the aftermath of the accident. Cops would have came, guy would have probably would have got deported, and the Americans would have probably got arrested for blowing that red light without insurance. So if that was the case, I'm not sure what the deal was, but regardless, it was one of those deals where quick thinking and quick actions turn a crappy situation into a slightly less crappy situation. But the Americans determined that they caused the accident, so that they were the ones who were going to have to pay the other person an amount of money to fix the vehicle. And I think the amount of money they paid was reasonable.